Hello, everyone. We are live now on the Kerb Facebook page and also Pit Lane Sim Racing. Hopefully that's working as well. I'm just getting that on. Welcome. We are here tonight. It's me, John, and Harry as usual, and tonight with Michael Crees as well, British touring car driver for BTCC Racing. How you doing? Are you all right, everyone?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
good.
Turn the stream down, John. I think it was.
Someone
had it on and it was loud. Cool. So yeah, we'll just get into it, I guess. So, how's lockdown been treating you, Mike? What do you want to be called first? Is it Creasy or what do you want to be called?
I've been called a lot worse, mate. I'll take Creasy. I'll take Creasy. But yeah, no, it's good, mate. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. It's a shit time for everyone. And we are allowed to swear on here, aren't we?
Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, we're all good.
And but yeah, I'll be honest. My life hasn't really stopped. Last year was a great year. Obviously, in the touring car as a racing sense, was probably my best year. And as people know, or you guys might not know, I've got a plumbing and heating company that I run, and hasn't really changed for much because construction's still banging ahead, and we only work in the new build industry. So yeah, it's been like nothing's happened to me. Still have to work every day, and just do it. The only thing I miss is going to Miller and Carter for a steak, really.
Yeah, not good that. That was one of the questions actually that we had. So, like a lot of British touring car drivers, they're not just a driver sort of thing. That isn't all that they do, So plumbing and heating, is that like your day-to-day thing, or?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm a plumber. Well, no, I'm not really. I started plumbing when I was about 16, and I quickly realised that weren't for me. It was all more about sitting behind a desk. So I quickly got off the tools at about 27, and then yeah, I set up my own company, and we went from there. And at one point I had about 80 plumbers working for me at one point, so it was quite a big outfit. And then I left that, and then I just started up another company again. Been running for 2 years, so we're doing all right. We're just getting off the ground. I own a carpentry company as well, so I've got a few carpenters who work for us as well, and I'm just about to open up another company as well. So yeah, it's all busy in my life, but I only work from like November to April, and then I go back racing again.
You go back racing, yeah.
That's the life, isn't it?
I was just about to say, that's what you want. I'll get into some of that. I just want to go racing, win a Jack Sears trophy.
Yeah, mate, that's the one. Honestly, I can't believe that. Like I was saying that before we come on here, just can't believe that like last 4 years it's just been crazy, man. Like as a plumber to racing driver, it's mad.
How did that happen? So I was saying to these boys earlier on that my lasting memory of you specifically, I'm sure it was Louise Goodman interviewing you on the grid. I think it was at Brands. And you could barely get a word out, and you're grinning so much, and you're just like, I don't even care. I'm on a British touring car grid. I don't care. I don't care what you're saying. Look where I am. Look where I am. I'm about to race all these boys. Look where I am. It's amazing. Like this.
Honestly, that's how I felt when I was sitting there. I was looking around. I just finished 12th in the first ever race, and like Plato and Turkington are behind me, and I'm sitting up, I'm looking around thinking, what is going on? Is this some sort of joke or what?
Yeah,
I was like, these boys are either well shit or I'm well good.
Go with the well good.
And then I got to turn 2, race 2 of Brands actual second ever thing, and then I got smashed from Plato out of the way, and I went from 12th to 27th in one lap. And then I'm thinking, oh right, this is what touring cars about. So yeah, I got my manners put on me straight away. So
yeah.
This was the thing, and I loved that though immediately, because it was like you're a very normal guy. Like I come from growing up with watching Formula One, and it's all very sterile, and people act just so, And when I saw you do that interview, I was like, he's mint. He's just like how I would be if I got in a racing car. I'd just be like, this is brilliant. Like, look where I am. But
yeah,
like, how did that happen? Like, did you just literally decide, I'm going to go drive racing cars and just start getting sponsorship, or?
Yeah, I mean, literally, I've been like I say, like, you know, people. I've been a fan for motorsport for, you know, all my life. Like, I remember ever since I was like 3, 4, 5 years old or whatever. You know, I was sitting glued in front of Formula One. Like, I never ever missed a race. Do you know what I mean? And I still now, like now I'm racing touring car. I'm gutted that I missed the Formula One. Do you know what I mean? When we're racing at the same time and stuff. But and then like touring cars, I've always watched it on the TV. I've always gone to my local track at Brands and stuff, and I've always got the computer, like the first person in the queue to get the Formula One games and the touring car games back in the day. And I've just been a fan. Like I've just liked it. You know, I wouldn't say I'm getting my fucking deck chair out at 5 o'clock in the morning at Brands Hatch, because you know that's not a bit of me. But you know, I loved it. And then when I started my own business, I just had a few quid spare, and I was like, oh, Buckmore Park's only 40 minutes up the road, gets me out of the house on like a Sunday evening once a month or whatever. And I just entered a championship, and I didn't even know, I think it's called the Iron Man or Man of Steel or something, like, you know, cliche like that.
Yeah.
And I went up there and I just won everything I'd done. But you know, like in the past, you go on stag do's and you go and like out with your mates and you kart and stuff like that. I used to win them, like lap ordered my mates all the time, and I used to always win them. But I never flicked a switch and thought, oh, do you know what? I could be a touring car driver.
Yeah. So I
just enjoyed it.
Yeah. So you never done any like, you never actually went and done like karting as a kid or anything like that. You just quite enjoyed it, love motorsport. Yeah, because
never.
So
and it was
what car was that? What car was it that you won? That you went to the kind of Ironman type or whatever?
So it was the Sodi World Series. You know the Sodi karts that they do.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen the Sodi World Series.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the championship I was in, and then I started doing some endurance stuff. Me and I don't know if you guys know Piers Pryor. Do you know Piers? He's in the F4. He raced in F4 this year.
Yeah, I know the name.
And me and him were teammates, and a lad called Ollie Wedden and James. And we just done a bit of endurance stuff at Buckmore, and I just got quicker and quicker at there. And then I won the Man of Steel Championship, which qualified me as the British champion of hire kart racing, which I didn't even know existed. So I ended up winning that. And then Buckmore Park paid for you to go to the World Finals. So we all went out to the World Finals, and Piers is like about 40 kilos in weight. He's tiny. And he was always rapid, but I was always like sort of, he was probably about 50 odd kilo, and I was about 75, 80. So he was always rapid. But when we went to the World Finals, we all got leaded up and weighed the same, and it was all pretty strict because, you know, Dubai, all those guys, I'll never forget it. Dubai like flew in, and they all had like gold crash helmets. They popped like, they had these garages out there, and they popped up these like spaceship tents, and like you had massaging and all that. We rocked up with a shit camper table with a kettle on it and a bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we were so like just didn't fit in, and then the Italians kept winning year after year. Like they were quick boys, and then we all sort of went out in practice, and whoever set the quickest time in practice done qualifying. But qualifying was like an hour long. It was mad. And I ended up was quickest in practice by Piers. I beat Piers by about 4 tenths, and his head nearly fell off because obviously he'd been quicker than me all year. But we were in the same weight. And then so I done qualifying, and I put it on pole for the first few sessions, and it was amazing. So, you know, all that went back to Buckmore. Then I got back from there, and then John Surtees had just bought Buckmore Park.
All right, yeah.
And I had this phone call from Leonora Surtees. I didn't even know. She was just phoning up. Oh, it's Leonora from Buckmore. I'd like to invite you to the Henry Surtees Foundation. And I just like got talking to her, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I fancy that. You know, like all these Formula One drivers, like I think Russell and Jack Aitken and Ben Barnacle and all these guys were all racing. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I don't know if I fancy this. But I was like, yeah, all right, I'll come along. So I turned up in my Ford Transit van, and or whatever it was. And I remember I sort of turned up at ITV, Steve Ryder's there, and I'm like, PNG, what's going on here? And then I qualified 21st out of 25, and I'm just like, I've never been at the back of Buckmore Park in my life ever, and I was just like, oh my god, this is like welcome to the big boy stuff. But again, I was 80 kilo and they were like 60 kilos, so I knew I had race pace there, but obviously over one lap I just couldn't do anything. And so with the sort of flag dropped and we went, and we were in Club 100 karts at the time. It's brilliant. I just loaded everyone up. I didn't even brake for the first corner. I was just flat chat straight into the back of the first, and we just shoved everyone into the first corner. I made 10 spaces on the first lap. So all of a sudden I came out and I was like ninth or something. I was like, hold on, I've got a chance here. And I just sort of cut my way through. And one more lap, I set the fastest lap of the day. I won the heavyweights, and I come second overall to a guy called Callum Bradshaw, who was about 16 at the time. And like I celebrated like I did the first ever touring car race. I was dancing, I was going mad. And like, I've dreamt of one of them, the Henry Surtees Foundation trophy, the blue. Have you seen it? They're a really iconic trophy. And I dreamt of that. And next thing I know, I've got 3 of them because I got fastest lap heavyweights and I come second overall. So it was crazy. Got interviewed by Steve Ryder and all that. So then it went on from there, and we all sat around this table, and the first 8 got to pick the most amazing prizes for the Henry Surtees Foundation you can ever dream of. And you can imagine, it's like a 3-day test in Maranello with Ferrari. And honestly, like a 4-day test with Carlin in Jerez, like money couldn't buy you prizes. So I'm sat around this table, and they were like, "Look, Mike, you're second to pick because you come second." And I think there was Ross Gunn, there was Barnacote, there was I think that there's Ben Green was there, Piers Pryor. All these guys, and I just said, look, I'm 31 years old. I ain't going to Formula One, but all these guys sitting around this table got a chance. And so I said, look, you lot have the prizes, and I'll just have whatever's left. And so John Surtees was actually sitting next to me, and he was like, do you know what? He said, that's the most unselfish thing I've ever heard. And then he gave me about $3,000 worth of like crash helmet, suit, like, underwear from Puma, all this gear. And I was like, what? And then I ended up with a 3-hour test with David Coulthard at Red Bull in the simulator, which was amazing.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's unreal.
Yeah, so I had a full factory tour, like they all looked after me. And then I actually went in the Formula One sim, the proper one with them. And just as I was going in, Pierre Gasly was coming out. And then it was all secret, took your phones off you. Like, I didn't even know this door was there. And you just push this door and you go into the sim. It's like all secret, hid and all this sort of stuff. But it was a great experience. And then from that, I met a guy called Ben Highland who does a competition called Want to Race in the Ginettas. And we got talking to him, and he gave me a chance in a Ginetta, and it went from there. I never raced a car on a track, got in that and turned up at Alton Park and put it on pole by 7/10, won the first weekend and went on to win the championship. And it's just snowballed from there. Honestly, it's mad.
What were they like to drive? What was it? That was the GT4s, wasn't it? Did you know?
No, that was the first year was a G40, which are 120 horsepower, the little one.
Yeah.
We didn't do GRDC. GRDC was built for what I should have done, really. For someone with no experience. But there was at the time it was called the GRDC Plus, which is now called Ginetta Cup or something.
Yeah, changed, I think.
Yeah, so that was the one that I got in. But again, I turned up and there was a guy who had raced the previous season in the GRDC, the basic one. He had 8 poles, 8 fastest laps, 8 wins. His name's Phil Ingram. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's the technical, he's the engineer for Jaguar Formula E. And so I pitched up at Alton Park, and this Phil Ingram's like it was going to be like the boss, and schooled it by putting 7/10 on the pole at Alton Park, and he did win the first race. Funny enough, I was leading by a mile and then spun at turn 1, went back to about 4th, and then I won the next race, and then went on to win the championship. But they're great little cars, Ginettas. And then obviously the year after I went to the 55 GT4.
All right,
Right, yeah. Okay, because that's when we were talking, and it's just like, surely he didn't just go, I'm going to go drive that Ginetta and win it. But I mean,
but
it's not
what
too
a
far
story.
off it, to be fair. It's not too far off it.
Yeah, what a story though. I mean, this is why I think the fans and everyone can relate to it, because it's just one of them stories you don't really hear, isn't it? You know, and the thing is, if I was a fan, I'd be going, that guy, that's who I'm supporting, because that is like a fantastic story. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you can be other drivers, I've got to be careful what I say, and just buy your way in and pay, and that's fine. And if you've got the money to do that, that's absolutely fine. But I just think, you know, you've got to have a bit about you to succeed in it, I think.
With what you're saying about the paying in, like in a few years ago, I spoke to, you know, Darren Turner, the Aston Martin guy. I spoke to sort of one of his guys, and he was saying that his barrier to moving into sort of single-seater type thing was money. Basically, you couldn't buy your way in. Well, he didn't have the backing to buy his way in, sort of thing. So it's a real thing, isn't it? Like, as well, just buying your way in. But
we've always known that as fans, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've always known that.
I think that's it. I think that's it. It's the fact of seeing. I know British touring cars is pretty. You know, there's all walks of life that have raced in British touring cars, isn't it? But I think just in modern motorsport in general, it's like you don't often see someone who was a fan of, you know, standing on the, you know, in 2015 at Brands or whatever, and then racing in the actual championship a few years later. You don't really see that. Well, you don't hear about it, you know. Brilliant.
No.
Got a couple of fanboyed a bit, didn't we, John? At Thruxton.
Oh yeah.
You got to pay a bit extra to get into the middle of the circuit, don't you? It's like £5 or something. But we stuck it, and we had a little mooch around the motorhomes, and we came across yours, Creasy.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
I'm not sure.
We were having a mooch.
But we was having a little fanboy. I was like, oh, there's Creasy. Look, there's. And then, the first time I've heard of the story, to be fair, because I'm relatively new into the touring cars. John got me into it. Of recent, maybe the last 2 years, would you say, John?
Yeah,
about the same as me, to be fair. I watched it as a kid, but
they're the best 2 years because I've only been in it 2 years.
That's it.
No, I mean that's the thing. I mean, even the camper van, you know, like, don't get me wrong, I had to invest everything I had into buying one of them because it's so hard. Like touring car with the fans, you know. We get so many fans through the door. It's just it's so much easier to stay on site, you know, than commute in, because, you know, to get there for a team meeting at 8 o'clock in the morning, you have to leave at sort of 5:30, and you're knackered as it is. Do you know what I mean? The weekend takes it out of you. So you know that was an important investment really for my career. But I mean, last year was just weird not having the fans there, and it was just, and obviously the first year, I used to go into the campsite every Friday to sort of like, you know, oh my God, like people were like, who's that weirdo? Like, going around the campsite. By the end of the year, they're all like all following me around and stuff, and like it was just having a crap. But when I was a fan, they're the things that I would have loved to have seen.
Yeah.
So all I remember is I just want to do things when I was a fan, like. I used to walk past the garage and go, oh look, he's in there. Like, I don't really want to look at him, or don't want to, you know. If anyone sees me and they catch my arm, like, yeah, come in, jump in the car. Like, I don't care. Like, do you know what I mean? And that, you know, that's what I think. I'm really approachable like that because I know what I wanted to do when I used to walk down the paddocks and stuff like that. So I just make it accessible for everyone now.
I mean, it's the same with you coming on and being involved in this. Like we really for this exactly the same reason. We're fans, so it was like super cool. It was like, oh, he said he'll come on, and it's just awesome.
That's why
I
wanted to do it. You know what I mean? I saw it. You know, I don't know. I didn't know how big you were or how small. It didn't even matter to me. But I just saw you guys having a right crack, and I thought, you know what? That's why I want to be part of that. You know, I get invited to do different podcasts, and you know, but some racing drivers look at, I'm not doing it unless they got 20,000 followers. I couldn't give a shit if it was just us four just having the crack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
That's brilliant. Do you mind a question or two from the comments?
Yeah, I can't see any comments of yours.
I'll filter them to you. We've got a couple that just say awesome story and a great story. Someone said working class hero kind of way, so that's super cool because it's pretty accurate.
That is true, yeah.
So we've got a question from Dave Chambers. He's asking what your targets are for this season coming up. Are you targeting a win or what are you going for?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, my targets, was to win the G40, which we've done in our first year. Then to win the Ginetta G55 Championship, which we've done. Then we went into touring car with Team Hard in the VW, and we knew that it was going to be a struggle. But we just wanted to learn everything, and we set the target of being the top rookie, so beating Robot, Blundell, Boardley, who I'd raced the previous year. He was a pro and I was an AM. So we succeeded. We were the top rookie that year in 2019. And then this year, 2020, we had the Jack Sears. So we wanted to win that, and we've done it. And this year's goals are to get an overall podium. And if I can get a win, great, that's a bonus. But just to get on the podium this year, that's why it's going to be the first year I haven't put any pressure on myself, so I can really let what hair down I've got and go for it.
All that hair.
But you watch this year, I'm going to be super aggressive now because
do the car, with the car, is it and it's a silly question I suppose, but they appear really difficult to drive. For someone who drives a road car who can drive anything reasonably quick, they seem very difficult to kind of get stable, quickly.
Mate, they're horrible. The worst car I've ever driven. It's so bad. It's so difficult to drive.
Really?
The grip.
Yeah, because you've got rear bump steer as well. So under compression, the rear of the car turns the car for you. So it's really, really strange. Plus, you've got 400 horsepower for a front-wheel drive car, which is just insane anyway. And going from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive, I just found it like I'm completely sideways, and then you just have to floor it, just get it back straight. So weird.
It makes no sense. Yeah, when it's sideways, you've got to floor it to get it back. So
like the first time I done it, I was like lifting off, and I was like, oh my god, like completely and then they were like, look, you've just got to trust it and bury the throttle. So I was so pissed off in that Passat one weekend, I just went completely sideways. I thought, bang. All of a sudden, it just came back around. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then, ever since then, I got a great picture in the Honda this year. But they mentioned it. Tim Harvey was like, what a save on qualifying. I literally came down the crane of curves and I was backwards when I entered the old hairpin at the bottom. I was completely backwards and I was just flat, and it just dragged me round the corner. But it would have been a monumental accident if I didn't stay on the Black Star.
I've got another one here asking what your favourite circuit is from Andy Hart.
It's a tough question, really. I mean, they're
all good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all good. I mean, I hated Thruxton, and then went there, had an absolute stormer this year, and it's like I can't wait to get back there now. But I'll probably have a shit one and then hate it again next week. So, but I love driving Knockhill, even though that's never been kind to me in a touring car. I love just literally you cannot see anything, and you just fly over the curves in the air, and you're like, oh my God, what am I doing? And then it lands. And
that's where I'm from. I live just down the road from. Well, I was before I moved down to England. That's where I used to live, right next to Knockhill.
Oh, mate,
that's how I got my buzz for the touring car.
Yeah, mega track that. I mean, to drive it in a touring car. But then, I like Brands. I didn't really like Brands in the Ginetta, but I do like it in a touring car. Weirdly, so it's got. I haven't got one particularly where I go, right, I really love it there. Let's go there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wherever you get your first podium will be your favourite, I reckon.
Yeah,
100%. And then when I do shit there again, it'll be my worst track.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. We've got one from Richard Sheldrick. Did you get nervous racing the old boys of British Touring Car when you first started, I guess?
I'll be honest with you, it's like anything, like I was saying, you see Chase and Plato in the paddock when you're a fan, you don't want to approach him or anything. And when I went to the first driver's brief and he sat right next to me, and I was like, oh my God, Oh my God.
That's Plato.
And, we was having a bit of a joke about it because they said in the first race, we had to tell Michael that he's not allowed to go and get the autographs. He's got to give the autographs out when he's joined touring car. And it's funny, right? Because when I was there, obviously a bit cheeky, so I went round about the third of race in or whatever, and I was having a crack with all the drivers by then, so they all got to know me that I'm a bit of a lad. And so what I said was, I was like, oh, look, lads, you've got to sign this programme because it's for charity. I'm auctioning it off and all this. I've got every single driver in the briefing to sign it, all under their names. I've just kept it as Thursday. I was like, look, boys, you've all got to sign it. So they're all like, yeah, sure. I signed it away. I just folded it up, put it in my bag and kept it.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
I was even having a little chuckle because I was the last person to sign it, obviously. And I was just like looking through it. And I was like, oh my God, it's so funny.
Just give it a sign at the end there, yeah. That's brilliant.
I'm going to keep that though forever. That was just a bit of fun.
There's a few folks saying they want to take you for a pint, so I'll get their names written down so that you remember when they come to see you. Yeah.
Well, what I'll have to do is we'll go up to Knock Hill about a week early, and we'll all have a few beers before we get to race weekend.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. That.
Or just have a week holiday after. Maybe that's probably a better idea. Not on the lead up to the weekend.
Yeah, after it. Yeah. So I had a question that I pre-warned you about because half of the viewers will have come over from my thing, which is sim racing thing. So I wanted to ask, have you done any sim racing during the lockdown? Because like Dan Camish and things have, and we're just wondering if you had.
Don't worry about Camish. He's terrible. They're all rubbish, mate. I'm telling you. Well, listen, I told you about my sim days. I got a PlayStation 4, thought I was the bollocks, went and spent £1,000 on a computer so I could play some proper sim racing, and I was a second off Bobby Thompson because of my steering wheel and pedals.
Because of the steering wheel and pedals, though.
I will take Camish to the cleaners if you give me a good sim.
I think we should set this up.
Yeah,
100%.
Reasonably priced sim. A driver in a reasonably priced sim. We've thought about this one before. But
we've got it made. I'll drive up to yours, Rich, and we'll get the sim out.
Yeah.
And I'll give you all the run for your money, I bet you. And I've never done it before.
Yeah, I'm totally up for that. That would be brilliant. That would be such a laugh, that would.
No, I reckon it is a lot harder than it looks, to be fair. And that what's that iRacing, man? Literally, come down the straight, you touch the grass, and it's like black flag or whatever. I drove round in like second gear, and I thought, I'm just good because they said you got to get your license up.
Yeah.
And I'm in an MX-5 or something, so I'm like driving along, but it gets to me, right? Because they come past, and I'm like, oh my God, I've just got to catch them, and then I'm like across the grass and like getting black flag. I turn it off, and Max Coach went to me, Mike, you're just not getting it. You've got just to stay on the track. And I'm like, I can't let them. As soon as you take off, I just end up like smashing into a few people, and my license is like pretty much written off. Like, I'd have to log in as a different name.
Log in as a different name. That's brilliant. That's fantastic. We've got actually quite a few people have asked like who your racing heroes were growing up.
Definitely Senna was I know it's the cliche Senna thing. I mean, for my era it was what I remember was the Senna Mansell days. I love James Hunt. I think he was an absolute rock star. Like, do you know what I mean? That is what life's all about, I think, back in them days. And I think if I was young enough, I think he would have been definitely. But I really liked Jacques Villeneuve and Montoya. I was always that sort of fan.
Like
when Villeneuve, and my engineer now, Mick Cook, worked with Montoya. And it was so funny, right? So he was in an engineers meeting last year, and he was like, "Oh, you well remind me of Montoya." And I was like, "Oh my God, I nearly went off a chair." I was like, "That's the best compliment you ever paid me in the world." But yeah, he worked with Montoya, and he just said he didn't know anything about cars, which I don't, and he was a pretty mouthy shit, basically.
Yeah.
So that was the similarities.
Just mouthy. You're just like Montoya, you're mouthy.
Yeah.
I'll take the driving ability, not the mouthy bit. Yeah.
No. So, but yeah, I was a Villeneuve. I like Villeneuve, man. Like he was quite cool. But I met him though I met Jacques in Valencia, and they say you should never meet your heroes. It was pretty much right because he was a bit of a knob.
Now it is, I suppose. Yeah.
French Canadian though, so never really had a chance. He never really had a chance.
Who's your favourite on the grid at the minute? Creasy.
Yeah?
Who's your favourite on the grid at the minute?
Well, Alonso, mate. There's only one Fernando Alonso.
Creasy, stop there. You've got the biggest fanboy in the world.
Mate, Alonso. I went to Belgium. I went about 4 or 5 years on the bounce, and I watched him at 5-6 different corners, and he was the only driver. It's slippery conditions as well, like tricky. And I watched him in practice, qualifying in the race, and he was the only driver to every single apex. At the first corner, every time on the button, and it was just incredible to watch.
You're saying that I went to an F1 tyre test when it was the really crap Honda McLaren, the really bad one, but it was soaking. It was horrible. It was after the British GP, and it was such bad weather. And it was right then I became a fan of Alonso for the same reason. We're around, I've forgotten what it's called, but the new last 2 corners there, you know what I mean? But all day, like pinpoint accuracy, not a step wrong all day. Every other driver was like, giving it like squirrely and whatnot. He was just through it perfect every time. I was just like, that boy, he's good. Sort of
he's
thing.
different class. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been a massive fan of Raikkonen. His whole career, I think I really like. Again, talented. He's like Hakkinen, Raikkonen, all of them guys. I think are great. I mean, Lewis is just different class. I think to do what he's done is incredible. But yeah, I would say I can't wait to watch Alonso. I like Ricciardo. I think he's quite a good lad, and Verstappen he's a good lad as well, isn't he? So he got some good characters in it. All we need to do now is get it a bit more lively. Hopefully, next year will be. I mean, Russell's shown us what he's worth, and so has Lando, and another 2 great lads coming through for the Brits. So we've got some real good pedigree there, but it's just got to spice it up a bit now.
Yeah, definitely. There's just been a comment. Have you just seen that, John?
About Fernando Alonso?
And I've just Googled it real quick. Alonso's just been rushed into hospital.
Been hit on a road bike. He's been on a road bike accident.
He's been run over on his road bike. But apparently he's conscious and well, so I guess he just got dinked or
Fernando,
something.
you heard it here first. I'll jump in there. Imagine me. There
we go, imagine,
Yeah, mate, breaking news.
I am telling you now, I still don't reckon I'd come last.
No, I'm pretty sure the Williams would definitely be behind you.
Yeah, put me in that Mercedes, mate, and 100%, I'll give him a good go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
100. I've never done single seaters, but I'd like to have a
go. You did a simulator.
You'd just be pretty, yeah.
Could you imagine it though? Like just jumping in and then going, right, starting your career at 37 years old and like beating them. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, it'd rub them all up the wrong way, wouldn't it? That.
Yeah.
Like, what's this? I mean, it's only been fashionable in the last, last 20 years or something. They're all young anyway, isn't it? I remember when I was a kid, like what you said.
That was the problem, right? That was the problem when I started racing, and at 33 or 4 or whatever it was, Max Verstappen had just signed for Red Bull the year before when he was 16. So it was pretty much the stigma of racing. Unless you're 16 or under, you ain't making it in touring car, you ain't making it in Formula One, you ain't making it in any sport, any motorsport. And that was a big thing that I stuck by. When I got to touring car, I was like, listen, kids out there, or even not even kids, 20s, 30s, just if you love it and it's your dream, go for it. Because look, I've proved that we can do it. I've proved it.
Yeah.
And whether I stay in touring car for the next 10 years or this is my last year, you know, I've been there and done it now, and you know, I can say that if you want it that much, like I did, because when I had a sniff of it, I was all over it. You know, I come across as a bit of a joker, but trust me, I'm the last one out of the office, and I'm the first one in the morning because I want to make sure that I'm learning all the time, and I'm serious when I need to be, and that's the difference. Do you see what I mean? You can sort of, but that's why I like to relax quite nicely as well. Do you know what I mean? Have some fun.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Everyone, I've just linked Creas's Facebook page in both chats on Pit Lanes and on Sausage Curb. Make sure you go and give it a like and a follow to get his numbers up.
Or to get some plumbing done, if you want some plumbing.
Yeah, if you want, if you want a bit of plumbing.
MJ Plumbing. No, get on Instagram. I need to get these blue ticks because I got a bet with my mate about $5,000 that I could get a blue tick by the end of the year. So I need to get a blue tick. I don't know.
I will
I don't even have to get one.
For a laugh, I will literally push the living crap out of your Instagram for you and see what.
Oh, we'll go arms each on it. We'll go arms each on it.
There's quite a lot of interest on Instagram actually about doing it live on there as well. So it's like something that we're going to look into, isn't it? But
yeah. It's just difficult because for some reason, even though Facebook owns both of them, it won't cross over. So I'll look into it. I'll figure it out.
I've got a question for, again. Well, it's an open question that we've discussed quite a lot, and it's to do with electric cars racing each other. How do you feel about it, Crees? Because we've got different opinions in the chat.
What do you mean? What you mean? Us going to hybrid?
Well, no, not that. More like Formula E.
It's like basically, I don't have a problem with Formula E because I recognise that I think motorsport has to do something. If it's not to stay relevant for the optics of it, it has to do something. Like touring car has to do something. F1 had to, and they're still under pressure to do more, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I watched Formula E for the first properly. Like what I'd say, I tuned in to watch it last year for the first few times. You know, I'd seen it about and stuff, but I do like the idea of like coming into the pits, jumping out of a car into another car. Now, I think that's quite like cool because like you could trip up and fall over. Or something like that. It'd be quite funny. And like, knowing me, I'd like just run out of battery just for a laugh, like at the end or whatever, just for the crack. But I just don't like it that you just hear a buzzing noise, and that noise just really don't do it for me, and that's the only thing. But I think touring car and tow car could be onto a real winner with this hybrid. I think you know, I don't know how it's going to be yet. There's talks about a 15-second boost per lap, and the driver chooses where to, you know, deploy it.
Similar to F1.
So like, but you can do it to defend, or you can do it to overtake, or you can do it on an exit on a corner if you're on a good lap. Or I don't know how it's going to work yet. Darren Turner will probably be able to tell you a bit more because, you know, he's been testing the car. But I do think like that, you know, the nice mix and maybe a bit of biofuel, you know, to make it a bit more greener, perfect. But yeah, I'm not a full fan of imagine touring car fully electric. Even it'd still be fun because we just absolutely smash each other to pieces.
This was the thing. I went to see Formula E a few years ago at Battersea Park in London, and it was a very different thing watching it live. It was like very different because, you know, seeing F1, seeing touring cars and stuff. So seeing that, they were like it's such a cliche. They were like extremely loud Skeletric cars. But going to touring car like F1, one of the things really is hearing them. Like the first time I went to touring cars, I was actually surprised how loud they are, which sounds
touring car is loud, man.
Yeah. I was really surprised when they all went. Oh,
dropped you.
He's gone now.
He's gone.
He's back.
How do I get back? Oh, here we go. I'm back.
You went dizzy with all that talk of electric.
Just add a comment though, which is quite funny. BTCC game, which is coming next year, I believe. Imagine you driving.
Can you believe
as
it?
yourself.
We're gonna play as me.
You're gonna play as you.
I'm not even gonna play as me.
We need to do a campaign.
I'm gonna play as Plato. Just smash me off.
We need to do a campaign to get Creasy on the front cover.
Yes.
If
Like
they
not
don't,
the
I'm
FIFA
quitting.
games.
If they don't put me on the front cover, I'm quitting touring car. They put Turkington and Sutton on that. Oh, I can't put Ash on it. Can't put Ash on it. He's too. He's like the milk tray kid, isn't he? He's like the little Milky Bar kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
He'd kill me for saying that.
Are you pally with? Are you like really good pals with any of them on the grid just now?
Yeah, me and Cookie, the ginger assassin, is good mates.
Oh,
yeah, he's good fun. Chilts is mental. He's just different world, mate. That kid, but he's a good lad. Who else? Jake Hill, he's a little shit. Who else? Adam Morgan's good fun, and Norman.
Yeah.
Do you know Norman Burgess? He's a good lad.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Tony Gillam's good crack as well. He behind the scenes. So yeah, I mean, all the drivers I get on with. I mean, I've had a couple of little niggles with a couple of them, but yeah, there's a couple that you just get along with, and there's a couple that you can have the crack with. Do you know what I mean? But but when you're out there, no one gives a shit about anything.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to be with Jade in your team? Because it's a totally different dynamic, isn't it? The first girl.
Well, at least we've got someone to make the tea and wash up after us. Oh, no, I'm only joking.
Tag her in it.
Cut that bit. We need to
let it out.
We'll edit that out of the live stream. Yeah, we'll
tag
do
her.
that.
If somebody could tag Jade in this now so that she heard them.
I'll tell you what, right? When she joined, because she spent the whole year with us last year, like, because obviously she was working for her dad, and me and Cook, like, she's good mates with Cookie, so we like every morning making bacon sandwiches, having a laugh, and you know, eating together and stuff. And but I tell you what, when she joined the team, like Steve Dunham said, like, you got, come on lads, you know, you got to wind it in a bit, and you know, you can't be like that. And I was like, honestly, she gives more than what we could even. You cannot offend her. It's impossible to offend. I've tried, and
I've tried.
Yeah, and you cannot offend her one bit. She just loves it. The more ruthless you are, like giving her a stick is the best you get out of her, because she's such good fun, and she's just like one of the lads. So I said I can't wait till we're running around in our underwear in the truck getting changed and stuff.
Well,
no, but I think it'd be good. Your question, I think.
After all that, it'll be all right. Yeah.
Do you think we'll get fans? Do you think we'll get fans in this year? Do you think I know nobody knows the real answer, but
I think the way it's going, how can they not? Like, you know, got all this vaccine going on. We've moved it back a month. We're outdoors. We're not in the stadium. They were started to have fans in stadiums right in the peak of it. Do you know what I mean? In September and stuff, they started allowing fans back in stadiums. So, you know, for them not to let us have fans would just be ludicrous.
This is the thing. Anyone who's set foot on in like a racing circuit knows, especially like general admission grass areas, you literally stood in a field. Like at Croft, I've been sat on the bank there, and I'm tens of meters from anyone
100%.
all day. You know, it's like if any of those people had been to any of these circuits, they'd know, you know, that. Well, you just sat there, aren't you?
But like Brands Hatch, right? What I can't understand this year, why you couldn't buy a ticket and they put, I don't know, 300 cars on the South Bank like they normally do, and just don't get out your car.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's toilet facilities or whatever, which would have been, but all you'd have had is a cleaner or 10 cleaners on 10 Portaloos or whatever on the South Bank, and if you know, cleaning after everyone got in there, it would have been so easy to do, and the South Bank would have been full up of cars, full up of spectators or whatever, and they wouldn't have even. It would have been like a drive-in cinema, wouldn't it? So, you know, if they can do that, why can't they do that with cars? You know,
we used to do that in Knock Hill as well, but when it was pissing with rain, everyone used to be up on that bank right on the hill.
100%. What, you know, them sort of tracks. I mean, it ain't been funny to even build like a stand for cars, you know, to drive on and park in. They, you know, they should have done something like it for the money that they would have raised to pay for it.
Yeah.
It would have just been better anyway. But you know, I cannot see how they cannot let fans in. Maybe Thruxton, they might be a bit wary, and maybe Snetterton, I don't know, first two, but time Brands Hatch comes, it'd be ludicrous if we don't have fans. And I can't see the sport being sustainable, not having fans in.
No.
Because how can Jonathan Palmer keep these tracks in tip-top condition with all the staff and everything we need without no revenue coming through the gate?
No.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
No, indeed. And I was noticing, you know, when it was all kicking off about footy and everything, I was thinking, you know, there's this whole industry here with motorsport as well, and it just seemed to get swept under as long as football had some kind of attention. And it was a bit like, well, you know, motorsport's quite big in the UK, isn't it? You know, so, but it is what it is.
Well, we're an elite sport as well as they are, and you know, don't get me wrong, I love football as much as the next guy, but yeah, you know, it's a lot more dangerous going to watch football than coming to what, you know, sitting in a stadium when you come to Knock Hill with 3, 4, 5, 6 miles of open field. You know, you've only got to be sensible, and if it's the facilities, then get a load more portaloos. Surely it's more cost effective to have people through than what it's going to cost you to hire another 600 portaloos, for instance, or whatever.
I think it's sports like football as well. It's like it's the build up. Everyone goes to the boozer, don't they? And then they all go to the match, and then they all go back to the boozer and that. At racing, they don't. You turn up in your car, you go and watch the racing for the day, and you might have you camping or whatever, but camping's relatively safe as well. So,
well, you're outdoors, isn't you? That's the thing. I just couldn't believe it last year. You know, I just couldn't believe the sense of it. And but then Toka done such a good job of you know, we all had masks on. We'll like, I don't think anyone on the Toka teams, anyone in the teams actually got COVID all last year, because it was so well run, and so, you know, everyone respected what we needed to do, and you know, it went down an absolute treat. So, you know, even if they'd done something like that, you know, Brands Hatch, for instance, you know, you need a special pass to get under the through the gate anyway, and plus they shut the tunnel off. So even us this year, we had to go all the way round and then up under the tunnel. You know, even if they wanted to keep us safe and then let the fans spread out around the paddocks and just shut the paddocks off. You know, you guys are still come. Do you know what I mean? You're there to watch the racing. It's not, you know, I know it's great to come down to the pits and stuff, but it's still a great spectacle to go and watch. So they need to
value for money, like value for money wise as well. I think if they said they had to lower the capacity but put the price up a little bit for 1 year or whatever, I'm sure the majority of people would be happy with it, because what you get for your money, like generally a full day's racing for what you pay is
it's unreal.
Pretty good value for money.
British touring cars. I've said this so many times actually on this and my other stream. Like, British touring car, when everyone's allowed back in, is like such a value for money day if you're into motorsport. It's unreal. What is it? It's like 20 quid or something for the entire day of racing. Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
You get the whole weekend for about 35 quid or something. So
it's brilliant.
I can't believe I don't even have to pay now to go in.
Well, yeah. Right. Did we have any more? I was just going to say, did we want to do one of Harry's quizzes? Did we want to do that?
Yeah, I think we should.
You got
Harry's been too quiet tonight, I think.
He's
not usually.
There's a few Creasy related questions. So
yes,
you get them right.
Do you have a pen and paper out, Creasy?
Just quickly though, can we talk about Claire Williams?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Who thinks she's fit and who don't think she's fit? Because I actually think she's all right.
Where's this come from? Where's this come from?
No, I've been doing my homework as well, Harry. You know what I mean? So
this is a massive thing in my chat, and I've had
a huge thing.
And I've been doing my homework, and I actually think she's quite fit. So let's have a vote who thinks she's fit and who don't think she's fit. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm not in. That's probably because I'm about 10 years younger than
she's a MILF.
Yeah,
That's what-
I'd say I'm in for the garage.
I mean,
Yeah.
You've got a good
Harry's
garage.
not in. It's the only one who's not in.
Harry left
It's
out.
funny
mate.
because there's a guy who's absolutely obsessed with Clay Williams, and he's not even here to see
No,
this.
he is. He's in the pit lane sim racing chat. And
All
he's
right,
like,
okay, yeah.
he asked me to ask you about that, but he's also put, yes, I'm so happy right now.
Well,
He's no relation to me.
You never know where I got my information from, Dave. I just threw him under the bus.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. That is brilliant. That is. Right. Have you... That's probably
unexpected.
Claire Williams is going to have loads of followers in the morning now. She's going to wake up and be like, oh my God, what's going on here?
Well, she can maybe have a bash at a British touring car team instead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll race for her.
I don't think she'll have you racing for her now.
No, I don't think she will either. I think she's right. And she's got loads of dough, so.
yeah.
Every cloud.
Yeah. Right. Do you have a pen and paper or anything, Creety, to do this?
Oh, mate, now you're asking some questions. Hold on. I'll let you look at the Jack Sears trophy.
I was just about to say, look, just casually walks off to all these trophies sat there. Lovely.
I'd be the same. I've always wanted one of those trophies.
Any trophy would do. Interesting one. What car do you drive during the day?
That is a good question, actually. We'll ask him that when he comes back.
Yeah. Question: what car do you drive during the day? What's your daily driver?
Oh no!
I bet he's got more than one.
It's a story again. I don't know why, but there's always a story around everything that I do for some reason. But I used to have, and this is going back to electric cars. I used to have a BMW i8, and I don't know why Formula E don't do that, because my i8 sounded mega when I had that, because they enhanced the noise from the inside from the speaker, so you felt like you were in a Formula One car, but outside everyone was like, "What's that prick doing?" And I was just thinking that. So that was good, but I got rid of that, and then I signed a deal with VW SMG Croydon, the biggest VW van dealer or commercial dealer in the UK. So they actually give me a transporter for the year for nothing, which is amazing. 6-seater combi, which is great, and I've got a plug in there, so they can maybe give me an upgrade next time. And but then my wife used to, I had, when I was at my old company, I bought a Range Rover Sport 4.4 autobiography. So I've had that for 5 years, and it's just gone back on Tuesday. It's just been taken back. So last week I went out and bought a new car. So we went up to a Prestige Cars in Kent, and we bought a E220 Merc. Lovely car. Amazing car. Have you ever driven one?
No. Never driven one.
Great car. Bit slow, but perfect for her. So she drove it home down the motorway. I'm in my van. She was like, phone, this is amazing, perfect. Yeah, I was like, perfect. I've done a great job there. Great Valentine's present, perfect. Got home. She then went out shopping the next day to like Sainsbury's or something. She come home and went, I need to talk to you. And I was like, what? And I was thinking she's curbed the wheels or done something already. And she went, I don't like the car. I was like, what? And she's like, I don't like it. It's too bumpy around there, like over the potholes and stuff. So I was like, oh no. So I was thinking, I can't be putting up with that for another 3 years. So I chopped it in this week, and I pick up my new car tomorrow. So I went and bought a brand new SBR 5-litre Range Rover Sport. So I get it tomorrow. I'm well looking forward to it. It's 570 brake horsepower.
You'll get to see lots and lots of petrol stations.
Well, hopefully she's not allowed to drive it. Obviously.
All right.
I just want to go out in the morning and just start it up.
Yeah.
Just listen to that and then turn it off again.
Yeah.
It cost me about a tenner, I reckon. But who cares? So yeah, I ended up just a happy wife is a happy life, I believe. So
indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't wait to pick it up tomorrow. I'll show you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Got a white one with a carbon bonnet on it, so it looks the part.
Nice.
Very
nice.
And Prestige Cars in Kerb looked after me again. Another shout out. So I'm expecting $1 off tomorrow.
You're right. You're right.
This is good for plugging the car for all the sponsors on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel free, go for it.
Right. The quiz, Harry's quiz.
Harry's quiz. Yeah, the quiz
So
master.
the way it normally works is if you're listening on Pit Lanes or Sausage Kerb, if you put your answers in after, just so John or Rich can't cheat. I know, Creasy, you're not watching, so it's fine. So put in after because you guys can see.
Yeah, lads, don't help them. Or if you're going to send in answers, put in the wrong ones.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a theme, Creasy, because John is usually the better quizzer than Rich.
Can't help it.
Unless the questions are on Alonso or Schumacher, then it's normally Rich.
Yeah, I just guessed then. Yeah.
Right, okay, let's do it. I'm looking forward to it.
Right, okay.
Crack on.
They're all British touring car related.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm
Oh,
done.
no.
I'm out. Right, let's
Right,
go.
okay. So question 1. Which 2 drivers ended the 2020 BTCC season on the most number of laps completed? You get a point.
What? Most laps completed.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, you get a point for each one.
I know one of them.
Ooh.
I'm going to say... Well, I know it weren't me because I had 7 DNFs in a row.
Yeah, you had a bit of a bad spot, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, it weren't me. It was more Neil Brown engineering.
Oh, the engine.
Yeah.
Right, question 2. How many race starts has Creasy had in the British touring cars? There's 3 for grabs here. There's the total sum, and then there's the sum for 2019 and the sum for 2020.
You what?
You what?
There's 3 points off.
That's on me.
The total number of starts,
Yeah.
total number of starts each season. So there's 3 points because you've only done 2 seasons.
Oh God. I mean,
That's an easy 3.
Wait. There's a bit of a trick question. That is.
Oh,
he always has a bit of a trick going on.
I didn't mean it to be a trick question. So
I'll explain after, but I'll put 2 answers.
the correct answer is whatever Creasy puts, I think.
So number of starts and what was it? Total number of starts and...
Total number of starts and the number of starts each season.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, yeah, I know it is. Yeah, it is a trick, actually, yeah.
I mean...
John's on it. Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
I already know I've lost this one.
Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying there, I think.
Harry didn't do your homework on that one, did you?
It infers the different, but I don't know, so...
It's difficult, isn't it?
Right, question 3, 2 points on offer. What is Creasy's best British touring car finish, right? And what is the success ballast that you gain at this position?
Oh, God.
So
What, in 2020 or 2019?
overall in your career? In British
No, for success ballast.
Oh, this 2020.
You're going to have to say that again.
What is Creasy's best British touring car finish?
Yeah, I know that.
And the second point is, what is the success ballast that you get at this in this position? And that's the 20.
Oh.
Is it changing? It did change.
I don't even know that.
Neither do I. That's all right.
I got my eyes finished, and then I don't know what the success balance was for that. I did match that actually. No, yeah, I do know.
Again, if I've got it wrong, we'll just take Creasy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't think. I think it should. I don't know. I don't know if I got it right. It's 1 or 2. I don't know.
Right, are we happy, John?
Yeah.
Okay, it's question 4. In 1999, Matt Neal caused a sensation by winning a round outright in a privately entered car. What car was it that he took the historic win in? So in 1999, Matt Neal caused a sensational... Yeah, got it all, yeah.
We've lost your camera, Creasy, again. It's pointing at the roof, mate, pretty much.
Nah, it's all right. You coming in and out.
We want all the trophies. We want it all set nice.
I thought it was that, but I don't think it is. I think it was that.
I've got two here, and I'm not sure, but I'm going for one.
Yeah, I'm going with my latest one.
Where's Google when I need it?
Right, the final question. Thruxton is often referred to as the fastest circuit in the UK, but how many corners does it have?
Oh, it's a trick question because they told me I was at turn 8 and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm at like turn 4. And then like, no, you're not. And I had to look at my steering wheel to see where they actually put the corner.
Is there even a straight at Thruxton?
It wasn't last time we went, John. The amount of beers we had the night before.
We drank far too much the night before Thruxton.
It was awful, awful. You ever been to Basingstoke, Creasy?
Hey?
Ever been to Basingstoke?
Yeah, I think I have.
So we stayed there. We're from the north, so we stayed there when we came down to Thruxton. We had a bit of a rough night.
Had to drive his car the next day because he couldn't drive.
Yeah, I was not well.
It was a bad night.
I'd seen better days.
Basingstoke.
Yeah. First place back when we get to go back to touring cars just for a laugh.
Was that all the questions?
Yeah, that's it.
5 questions. Right then, chats, put your 1 to 5 answers in and we'll go along now. And yeah, there we go.
So it's out of 9.
Okay. I mean, traditionally, just so we know, I lose these. So
well, I'm not sure. You might have a chance today.
I might even lose it. If I lose this, it'd be embarrassing.
Right, so the question 1 was which... Oh, wait a minute. Actually, we got some questions. Yeah. Question 1, which 2 drivers ended the 2020 British Touring Car season tied on the most number of laps completed?
I got Jack Patel and Tom Chilton.
I was going to go... well, I did, because I had no idea. I just went for Sutton and Turks, basically.
I went with Dan Camish and Tuckington.
Nah, Jack Patel, definitely.
Sutton and Chris Smiley.
Oh!
Do you get a point if you said Sutton? I think Sutton.
I get nil point.
I got a point.
I could be last on this one.
I know I'm wrong on this.
Jack Patel, I thought he finished every race.
That's what my research told me. So Sutton makes sense because he obviously won it, but Smiley, yeah.
Yeah, but Sutton.
Out of laps. Yeah, but Sutton was out of a lot, wasn't he? He was retired for a lot.
Was it the most? Yeah. Oh,
He's not happy here. He is not happy with this.
Most number of laps.
Where are you getting this information from?
Harry sticked them up.
Official British Touring Car website.
Oh.
We'll check up on that very shortly. Question 2, how many races starts did Creasy had in BTCC? So 3 points.
I've gone for 57.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But then I had 30 in the first season, 26 if you want to be pedantic, because I didn't start race 1 at Croft.
That adds up to what, 56?
Well, that adds up to 56, yeah.
Okay. Boys?
I had 30 in the first season, 24 in the second, and so 54 I had.
Yeah, I went 60.
Oh, hold on a minute.
Rich?
I just said 60.
No, yeah, that is right.
We can't hear you, Rich, I don't think.
No, you can't rig your Rich at all. He's gone. His mic's gone. Again.
Well, what we'll do is, these are the answers that I've got from the BTCC page. 57 total.
Yeah.
Oh, I rubbed that out as well.
30 in 2019. It does say 27 in 2020. So
Well, they might have put that down as a start because I did start from the pit lane, so they probably put that down as a start.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back.
It just keeps turning itself down. Don't know.
Sick of you.
Yeah. So I do think, 57. If they class that as a start from the pit lane, that is 57.
Did he start 30 in one of the seasons?
What?
Did he start 30th? 30 races in one of the seasons?
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, so I'll get a point then. I'll take a point.
Yeah, and that was very dubious because I got off the start of the third race at Brands Hatch and blew the gearbox up by turn 1. It literally didn't go off the start, and I was like, lads, there's definitely something wrong with this. And they're like, no, it's just a bit of clutch slip. Keep going. I was banging it into gear, and it put the gearbox through the side of the engine.
The 3 points the new boy, Rich gets 1.
I get 1, yeah.
Don't know what you put, John, I can't remember.
Yeah, I got 3 out of 3 there.
I got 1.
Question 3. What is Creasy's best finish and success balance at this position?
I got P9 at Silverstone and P9 at Thruxton.
Yeah.
And then I put 12 originally, but I think it was 20.
Boys?
Oh, I put 4.
I put 9th and 10 kilos.
I put 9th and 4 kilos.
I've got 9 and 15 kilos.
Oh!
So
I think the regs are, it's 75 for position 1, then you drop 9 for every position below that.
I've never been that far up, so I don't know.
We'll change that.
These are the questions I get asked we have to have a pre-season exam, and I literally have to just copy whoever's next to me. We have to have an exam on the rules because obviously we all cheat, and I just copy whoever's sitting next to me. I think who was it? There was about 3 drivers that got called back to resit it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
So none of us got the weight right then. I swear I only drove with 12 kilos last year.
Well, if that's what you put in the car, we have to take that as the answer, don't we?
We put that in the car because we were trying to cheat.
Question 4. What was the car that Matt Neal was driving?
Put a Nissan Primera.
Nissan Primera.
I put Nissan.
Nissan Primera, yeah.
Yay!
Right, it was
I thought it was I don't know why. I thought it was a Vauxhall at first.
It was an Astra I had in my head for some reason. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sure it's the Nissan.
Yeah,
It
at
was
Alton Park, wasn't it?
Oh, I can't remember.
I think so.
You should know.
You did the.
I didn't even know who Matt Neal was back then.
Harry, have you put something on top of your microphone?
I would no. I don't think so.
Just because he lives out in the sticks. He's back.
So question 5 then. How many corners does Thruxton have?
I don't know. I just put 10.
I put 11.
I put 12.
There's one right answer there.
12.
11.
Oh, no chance. I'm not having it.
Have it.
Rich is
You
beat
got
me.
the first. You got the first corner. Yeah.
Then you
Which is
And this is what the website tells me. Rich, you can probably vouch for me because you drive it all the time in your Sims, probably.
Yeah.
you got the first one, didn't you? The flat out fifth gear, and then it goes up the hill, which is the second corner.
Yeah.
Then into the complex, 3, 4, 5.
And then
out to the back straight.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 is church.
Yeah.
9.
9, 10. Oh yeah, 11 is 11.
Yeah, it is 11. Yeah. Whoops!
Yeah.
I put 10, so I don't get it.
I only got 5 points though. To be fair, so I only got 5 anyway.
I can't believe Jack Patel weren't. He finished every race.
I only got 3 points, Rich. So this is the first time you've ever beat me, Rich, in this.
I think
That's not the first.
It's pretty much is.
Jack Patel finished every race. Chris Smiley didn't finish every race because he got absolutely fired off by Camish at Snetterton. Do you remember that? And Jack Patel definitely finished every race. And Ash Sutton retired at Croft, and
Wellington, maybe?
he also retired at.
Got a flag, didn't he? Wellington, no.
Did Patel spend a lot of time in the pits or something?
No, he was. I think they've got that wrong.
I am delighted how into it you are and how much you're not happy about that answer.
Actually, Creasy, I meant to ask you, what is 777? Why 777?
Well, it's a bit of a weird number. I mean, when I was growing up, 77 was always my favourite number, and for some reason, and then so when I went racing in G40, someone already had 77, and they wouldn't, because it was their second year or whatever, they wouldn't change it. So I was like, oh, that's a bit annoying. So I was going to go 7. But then my main sponsor, a great guy, lovely guy, a guy called Vince Caldicott, owns Premier Contract Supplies. You've always seen the PCS logo on for my whole career. And he's a massive Christian, and 666 sign of the devil, and because he's into the church and all that, it was 777 for the sort of sign of God and all that sort of stuff, and that's how it sort of stayed really, and that's just the God's honest truth really.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun.
Yeah, but you remember it though, isn't it? It's easy to remember. You remember your number.
Yeah, and I just think it looks really good. And I said to Josh Cook the other week, I was like, listen, I think you need rebranding because you're boring. and you're ginger, and you're like you've got like a little bit of devil features. So I said, how good would it be, because he's 66, isn't he? I said, you have 666 and I have 777, and we could have a bit of devil and angel sort of thing going on. I thought it'd be a good crack, but he said piss off. So all right, fair enough.
You tried.
I tried. I thought it would be quite good.
Yeah,
I thought that would be quite fun. But, yeah.
Oh, well.
He thought it was a terrible idea.
All right, 1 minute.
What did you get, Creasy, then? How many points?
Oh, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Didn't get the kilos. 5.
Oh, it's a tie.
Tied with Rich.
Tied with me.
I won't tell you what I got. I got less than 5.
I haven't got a tiebreaker, but you can have Butel if you want, even though it's the touring car times that are telling me that it's Sutton and Smiley.
Yeah, they're lying. They haven't done their homework.
He retired race 1 Croft.
Told you.
Jack Patel.
He's let me down. Well, I've got a question, a tie-break question, even though I'm in the tie-break. But who's going to be the second? Who's going to be the second team dynamics driver?
Oh.
Because I think it's Shedden.
Oh, what? Think Matt Neal's not going to race? Or
well, I don't. You going for Matt Neal, John?
We've got Dan Cam, haven't we?
Dan Cam.
I can't see Matt Neal. I can't see Mel.
Is Cavish in this seat though?
Don't know.
I reckon so. I don't know.
I can't see Matt Neal giving up this season with Plato carrying on another season just because.
So I'm going Shedden. You're going Matt Neal.
I'd have said Matt Neal as well, to be honest. Shedden would be cool to see, because he's before I watched a lot of touring cars, so it'd be a good thing for him to be back on the grid, wouldn't it, Shedden? Like, generally?
I think it'd be good. And he followed me the other day, so I have to say that, because he's my new mate.
I grew up watching him, and he used to train. I'm sure he used to do driver training at Knockhill, and he used to let us in the timing box when it was freezing cold and pissing down with rain, so that's why I like it. I'd like to see him back. It'd be cool to see him back.
Go on, Harry. Think of another question, a tie-break question.
Tie-break question.
Oh, God.
Okay.
He's normally got one.
I don't know the answer. We'll do closest to it, okay? Creasy, what's your favourite track currently? I know we've gone through this, but pick one.
Snetterton, because I really know what you're going to answer.
Total racing circuit track length of Snetterton. Closest wins.
Which layout?
The one.
What did you say?
The circuit length at Snet.
I'm going to go.
I don't know it, so I'll have to Google it.
2.9 mile.
I was just going to say 2,000. Yeah.
I'll go 2.96.
You're not
said-
playing, John. You're not.
John, what did you say? 2.9,
I want-
Creasy?
I want to be involved.
Okay, I'll go 2.85.
No, I'm going to go 2. I'm going to change it. 2.6 miles.
2.6 miles.
2.8.
He's run
John?
out.
What's
I'm not in the tie. I said 2.9. I'm middle for diddle.
2.969 miles.
I knew I was right. I
nearly got it perfect.
I remember testing them. Someone said to me the other day, because we were talking about testing there, and he went, "No, it's 2.9 miles long. It's a waste of time going testing there because it takes about an hour to do a lap." So that's why I knew it was 2.9 miles, because Josh Cook said it the other day, I think.
What's the bomber like to drive? Because it's awful on Sims, isn't it? I find it awful.
The bobble.
Bomber, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good corner. I mean, you can proper cheat there if your car's set up, because you can cut the corner massively. So in a touring car, like any other thing, there's a big drain there. It's like that on the sim. I think when I've driven it on the sim, the drain is there.
Yeah.
And if you hook it up in a Ginetta, that you've got to get on that drain to really get the car in. But in a touring car, you can like fly across that corner.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one, because you come out in second gear. You know, I was trying third gear through the complex under the bridge this year in the Honda, because you had a little less revs coming out of it, but you still had to torque with the engine, so sort of drag it out. And sometimes that's better than clicking up a gear out of that corner. So I was trying it in third, but normally coming out in second gear, up to third, up to fourth, literally like a 25% lift and back full chat, and you just get the car in. But it's quite weird, because on the exit there's like a grass grated curb on the end, and if it's a little bit dewy, you can proper have a big one there. But it's good. It's good fun, because it sets you up. But the next quorum is like flat chat, fifth gear. You just fly in, and there's no markings or anything. You just literally wait until you think, "Oh, I've got to have a lift," and it's really horrible corner, because then you're down the box to second gear to get the exit out of
that on the Sims is a nightmare, because the rear end goes light, and as you start to brake, people don't think of the lift off oversteer and stuff, and they just go mental and spin off. And
that's the only thing about Sims, though. Like, I find we'll probably do a shit fucking pedal box, but as soon as I start lifting like that, it just throws me off. Yeah, I think if you had a bit more feel, like you can, like in a touring car, you can literally come around the lift off, left foot brake, boom, 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 down the gears, and get
it's
it
all right. You said you didn't enjoy iRacing, so we can be pals there, because I think it's shithouse. So everyone likes it because it costs loads of money, but really it's not very good.
It's terrible, mate. It's so bad. Like I go into turn one, someone smash me up the arse, and I'll get my license taken off me. And I'm like, I haven't even done anything.
Yeah. I'm glad I got that in there. That's brilliant.
It is shit. It is the worst game I've ever played.
Nice. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Right, we've been live now like an hour and a quarter, so we can. We normally wrap it up about here. So I was just wondering if you wanted to say anything, parting, Creasy. If you wanted to plug anything, feel free.
No, but I'm not just a guest. I'm now a fully fledged fourth member of the clan. I don't think you're getting rid of me on the next one.
It has been asked if you could be the fourth sausage. So yeah,
I am definitely the fourth sausage. We're gonna take this viral.
Fantastic! I love the sound of that.
Imagine, I'm gonna have the sticker. I'm gonna have the logo, right? So the sausage just goes into my mouth.
Right then, guys, I've linked Creasy's Twitter and his Facebook into both the chats. If you'll go over and give him follows, likes, and all of that good stuff on both the social medias, that would be mega. I think some people have already said they have. But yeah, we'll catch you soon, guys, for another.
Yeah, but honestly, just before I go, cheers for inviting me in. We had a right laugh. Like, this is what you need to do, and all the fans that are out there, sort of, having a bit of a struggle or you know, I do a lot for mental health and stuff, and you just got to keep positive and keep pushing and keep tuning into things like this and having a crack and having a laugh. And, you know, and it will get easier in the next couple of months, trust me. And it won't be long till we're back around the racetrack, having a few beers and watching a bit of racing.
That's what everyone wants, isn't it?
Cheers. Thanks for having me, guys.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah, cheers. Come on, cheers.
And see you later, Facebook. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.